Hello again, Cons here. Today we are doing light bowgun. I guess probably the first thing I should say rather. And the thing is, I'm going to be talking about this in a little bit more detail at the end of the video, so just sort of skip there if that's what you're interested in. But it's Solo Fatalis pretty much. But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the heavy bowgun versus the light bowgun run. I decided in the end not to do a regular heavy bowgun run because the light bowgun and heavy bowgun runs are fairly similar. I decided that smokes cheese video that I did, I'm just going to use that as the HBG run. So when I because I'm doing all 14 weapons obviously. Yeah, the heavy bowgun run is just going to be that smoke cheese one with smoke bomb spam and heroics. And then I figured to make up for that, what I would do is another spread run, but instead of using smoke cheese and heroics, I would just do it completely like vanilla. You know what I mean? Not TA, but like no heroics, no smoke spam. So that is the reason that you're going to see me just do a regular run here, even though it would be faster to do like heroics and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is going to be a regular spread 3 run. We are using the Fatalis, I believe. It's obviously layered, but this is either Fatalis or frostfang. I think it's probably frostfang because it's not rapid fire. Yeah, so this is the frostfang light bowgun. You'll notice that it is slow reload, and that was a little bit of a trouble for me at the start because I don't play much light bowgun, and I definitely wasn't used to having to deal with this. The slow reload is definitely like the #1 way that I've been dying while using this weapon. The nice thing about light bowgun is it's fairly mobile. The little dash that you get is quite handy. I was considering swapping some DPS, like the... What the heck did that bullet go? I was considering swapping out some of the DPS for reload, but it just wasn't worth it for me. That first close range mod makes such a big difference. And so yeah, that's the reason I'm running what I'm running now. We'll talk specifically about the set again at the end of the video. But I believe I'm using some points of evade extend, so if my evasion looks a little bit longer than you'd expect, that's the reason. But yeah, the run is actually pretty typical. You want to like reload whenever you possibly can, just to like top up, like whenever you get a decent opening but you can't shoot. And then just basically pile bullets into it and pray for true spare shot runs. This, you definitely don't want to reload at a bad time because you are gonna. And so as you can see, that was a little bit risky. Yeah, a poorly timed reload will definitely kill you. Or at least get you really close to death because of how much damage Fatalis does, so just be warned. Another issue is that we're going to be shooting the chest entirely, which means no head. If you aren't aware, Fatalis' head hit zone is 30 something, and when you tenderize it, it goes up to 44. What that means is that tenderize, weakness exploit, does not affect it. Even after you've softened the part. So it's just such a huge loss of affinity that it's better, and plus the chest hit zone is larger. It's just better to go for the chest, even though you've got to deal with blue flame modes. It is possible to tenderize the head and just go for it regardless. You could run like a 100% affinity build because we aren't using Fatalis. And that way you wouldn't be losing as much DPS when you go for the head, but that's not really what I wanted to do. And so yeah, we are dealing with, we're going to deal with blue flames in final phase. It's going to be a little bit scary, but it's not a big deal when you get the hang of your movement. But yeah, the issue about reloading getting you killed is obviously, you know, times 1,000 when you get into phase 3. So we did a pretty typical phase 1. In phase 2, as always, I'm going to just skip it with the smoke bombs. In hindsight, I probably should have saved the... Oh, okay, I am saving it. Oh, nice. Past Cons was he was on his game. I'm going to save the roaming ballista probably for phase 3 then. Because, yeah, phase 2, when you're just focusing chest with spread bullets, it's not difficult to deal with phase 2. Otherwise, phase 2 isn't really my favorite phase. Like, when I'm going for the head, I find phase 2 really annoying. Because the head is like, he doesn't cone as much as he does, so obviously the head is like a less accessible, and his chest is a low hit zone, so it's not worth punishing that, as opposed to phase 3 when it becomes a much better hit zone. And so phase 2 is like my least favorite phase, and so I'll often use the roaming ballista to skip that. Thank goodness he didn't cone. I'll often use my roaming ballista to skip phase 2, but because this run we're focusing chest the entire time regardless, I decide to save it for phase 3 because it wouldn't really obviously, it would still be nice to have it here because the chest is a better hit zone in final phase, but it makes less of a difference with shot zones. And generally speaking, like phase 3 is much more annoying because of the blue flame is much more liable to get me killed. And so that's the reason I like to do it that way. So yeah, I'll save the roaming ballista knockdown and my binders for entirely for phase 3 just to make it a little bit more bearable. So yeah, I'm just going to basically camp Fatalis, keep an eye on its moveset, make sure it can't hit me, and like make sure I'm not in cone territory, and just keep spamming the chest as much as I can. Whilst like timing reloads effectively. There isn't a huge amount to talk about right now. I'm trying to think if there are any other general considerations I need to make. I guess I might as well talk... Oh, okay, well, there's an example of what not to do. yeah, so this was done live on Twitch, twitch.tv/consoa. If you've been primarily watching me on YouTube, I am going to be phasing out the YouTube streams probably by maybe mid-January, but I'm not 100% certain yet. So yeah, if you want to continue to watch the streams, they'll probably be on Twitch only. Just a heads up. The Twitch channel is linked in the description, or you can just find my username there. But it's a fun time. We do stupid challenge runs, and recently we've been doing a lot of Fatalis speed runs, and we've been doing some deco farming. I think that's today's stream actually. Well, it won't be today because I'm gonna upload this. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, like drop by if you want. But yeah, we did light bowgun. It didn't take us too long to get used to it because light bowgun isn't a particularly hard weapon. Even though it's not a weapon I use very frequently, it's fairly similar to heavy bowgun, spread wise, except that you get the better rolls and stuff. So it wasn't that difficult, like to get used to. What else? What else? There's got to be something worth talking about. I don't know. I've kind of run out of things to say. It's just aim and shoot. It's a good indication, yeah. I know a lot of people make the joke, oh, light bowgun is just aim and press the trigger. But but I am completely out of things to say. Oh, if you claw onto him, by the way, he's fairly liable to like land, but it's not 100% consistent. And I also used the time that he's up here for. You got to be careful, by the way. That final of the 3 explosions when he's in rage mode has a lot of AOE. But yeah, I like to use it to tenderize. Alternatively, just throw a smoke bomb and he'll land immediately. Once he loses aggro, of course. Yeah, when I said I wasn't going to use smoke bomb, what I mean is I'm not going to use like the smoke bomb spam to like continually pound his chest. Well, I'm still happy to use smoke bombs just to like make him land, or like to use the roaming ballista, stuff like that. So typical smoke bomb usage is okay. I'm just like not here to just do nothing but smoke bomb the entire fight like some of the other runs are, like some of the more optimal runs might be doing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of things to say. I guess when we get to phase 3, things will get a bit more interesting. Speaking of which, this phase is taking a long time. You can really feel how long this phase takes when you're focusing the chest because of just how crappy your shot zone is. And just generally speaking, Fatalis' shot zones are really bad. Okay, so because I have Evade Extend 3, you see me spamming roll to get to the end. I believe this is faster, but I'm not 100% sure. But you can see I got wind pressured from pretty much the other end of the map, and I got there with more than enough time to spare. So I think rolling is faster. Okay, so we've entered clench mode. This is where pretty much every move that Fatalis does has the possibility to one-shot me, and I'm like constantly terrified. But we'll start it off with the binders, obviously. We'll use both of them. We've saved the roaming ballista, so that'll help us skip a lot of health. If you aren't aware, Fatalis goes into this phase at half health. So he has around 33,000 health left. The Dragonate, if you land both hits, is 6,000 damage. That's roughly, I believe, 20% of, not 20% of his health, but it's 20% of the final phase. So that's sorted quite easily. The roaming ballista is roughly like 80 or 90 damage per shot. You get 100 shots. That's 80 or 90 if you've got Feline Bombardier and you're tenderizing the chest and he's in rage mode. But yeah, if you do all of that stuff, it's like 100 damage per shot, and so that's like 10,000 damage per roaming ballista usage, which is in itself a third of his final phase's health. So between the Dragonator and the roaming ballista, you've already done a third of his health completely easily. Then you've obviously got the 2 binders with which you can pellet shots into him, and so you really only have to deal with his final phase, like maybe just maybe like a third or 40% of his final phase. You've actually got to deal with yourself. If you save all of your tricks for the final for this phase. I believe I'm dead, maybe? Oh no, okay. Yeah, so with Evade Extend you can... The other thing is, notice my health while I'm rolling, I'm not taking tick damage, which is another nice thing about Evade Extend. Not only is it faster than running, or at least equal to running, but obviously it's giving you those intermittent iframes, which makes it much easier to not get completely screwed over by the Nova. I am smoke bombing for some reason. I probably should have saved that for... Oh, okay, just to make this more convenient. Oh, Tendy ran out. No, stop shooting. Go back and tenderize. Oh, God, I'm such an idiot. Well, that's why this is the 13-minute run, and there are speedruns out there that are faster. Oh, man, I'm missing so much. What are you... Fatalis, please. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I should definitely have tenderized. I should absolutely have tenderized before all of this. Although, to be honest with you, the net caught me, so it wasn't that big a deal. I don't use mines either. I would advise using mines. They are definitely worth the time investment. It's just, I haven't really... I wasn't really sure if they would be worth using, and so I didn't bother with them because I didn't have true shot or whatever it's called in the set. But obviously mines are definitely nice to use. I don't believe they're fixed damage, are they? Oh, they might be fixed damage, so they're probably even better to use in the early phases when the shot zones are lower, or if you're going for the head for whatever reason. I can't imagine how you'd make the mines work, but they're obviously there if you want to. Of course, I'm gonna one-shot binder without reloading first because I'm just an absolute smart lad. And then I roll out of the reload. Cool. Okay. Good job, Cons. You're a real clever guy. So each shot here is what? I believe like 6 or 7 pellets. 6 or 7 pellets by 40 damage each is what, a solid 300 damage per shot. It's not bad. Yeah, just trying to think what else I need to talk about. The shot zone doesn't seem to change that much. If you've tenderized the chest before phase 3 and you tenderize the chest after phase 3, oh lord, am I dead? Yeah, okay. That was really unfair in my opinion. Like the cone animation, he should not have coned there. I was not standing in a position to bait out cones at all. He never cones when you're standing there. And the only reason the cone actually hit me is because the wall and the angle he was standing at pushed him backwards to catch me in the range. And barely even just that. That's extremely unfortunate. But no big deal. I was going to keep doing this run, but I was a little bit sick of spread, to be honest with you. And so I decided to just post this instead. It's good though, at least you can see, you know, you can see that I do things wrong too. Oftentimes I'll grind until I get a really good run and then people will think that that's my standard of gameplay, but I cart all the time too. I don't know if I'm, like, use the Dragonator on time. So I mean, I guess I can talk about this. It is optimal, obviously, also I almost died there. It is optimal to like try and Dragonator before the final Nova to kill him right after the, to kill him like straight up because the, yeah, he Novas at 5% of his health left, which is from 66k, is what, like 4,000 or something? I don't know, quick maths. But basically the Dragonator does more than 5% of his health. And so before he like goes off to do his final Nova, if you can tell he's like within death range, you can actually just kill him. Especially because of the knockdown that you get will also give you a chance to like finish him up if you don't get lucky. So yeah, ideally you would Dragonator him before final Nova to try and kill him. Just skipping the final Nova completely, which is like a complete 30-second time saver. Just on its own. I don't know if I do that in this run, but that's obviously another way you could save time. I'm basically just talking about anything now because I've run out of things to say. If you're even cleverer, you can use a mixture of smoke bombs and the roaming ballista to do 10,000 damage, which is even more than that. I think you can skip 2 Novas like that, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I've yet to even do that in a single run because I don't know. That's more of a PC overlay kind of meme. Not really suitable for me. Oh, I did do it this run. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. Well, there you go. I'm PC overlay confirmed. And a 13-minute run, so not too bad. I will show off the decors in each piece of equipment and the skills now, and then I'll talk about them in more detail on a freeze frame. Notice the lack of health boost. I forgot to put a defense augment in, because I'm an idiot. Yeah, full Fatalis with Rhyme Guard legs. It's a very, very typical set. But yeah, we'll talk about the skills in just a second, once I'm done scrolling through. Second page is just a point of claw boost and a point of heat guard, but the rest of the skills are here, so let's talk about them. It's a very typical set. DPS skills, you know, agitator, attack boost, critical eye, crit boost, weakness exploit to get affinity, stuff like that. Very, very typical stuff. I reach 100 affinity. Obviously, this is not the Fatalis light bowgun, and so you'll see critical eye is not maxed out because I don't need that much extra affinity. I've run just enough to get me to 100 with tenderize pretty much. Spread shot 2 is obviously important for spread light bowgun and for spread weapons in general. Evade extender 3 is really handy for just dodging moves and also for like dodging the Nova, especially because you're dealing with blue flame mode. And so having those points of evade extenders makes surviving the Nova just infinitely easier. But other than that, it's just very typical stuff. Oh, free element, of course, for the increased clip. Yeah, there's not really much else to talk about. It's just DPS skills, basically. I don't think there's much else for me to say here. If you have any questions, you're welcome to present them in the comments. I'll try to answer. Augments. I have affinity and like attack. I forgot to. I don't use health augment on light bowgun because it's spread, so it's rubbish. We actually did try it out for a bit. It was just really garbage. And aside from that, the augments on the light bowgun itself are 2 recoil and 2 close range. I would swap the close range for reload, but you need to swap both. And that first close range is like 20% extra damage, so that's not really viable. Yeah, so anyway, I think that's basically it. Let me know if you have any questions, but otherwise, I hope you have a lovely day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.